on in the room. Come on in the room. Bucks lose tonight. 111-100 to the Charlotte Hornets. Made it respectable on the in the scorebooks as this thing ends 111-100. It was not that close in reality. The Bucks got absolutely smoked tonight. But they do lose it 111-100. Come on in the room. Doc Rivers is our doctor. He writes out all our scriptures. He gives us our medicine in our room. And we alive. It's Creepsy Crossword Good Trailer.
JT.
Chris King.
Yeah. Justin was in the building tonight in Charlotte. Made the trip from Raleigh to Charlotte to see he called it downtown. It's uptown Charlotte. But he made the trip to Charlotte to see the Bucks in person. He delivered some messages to John Horst on his way there. But so he will check in with us when he gets to his hotel and gets himself settled. We'll have we'll talk about it with him, what he saw live there on the floor as our correspondent, if you will. But we're going to talk about what we saw here in a 111-100 loss. Come on in the room. Get at us on the chat. We'll talk to you in the chat. Get at us on the YouTube. It's at On Your T's Q's 973. And somebody, I remember somebody that was asking, like, what? They want to slow down. All right, it's on. O-N, your, Y-O-U-R, T's, T-S, Q's, Q-S, 973. The number's 973. That's how you get at us on the Twitter. And Midwest Ballers was just in bad luck. I don't know. We might not let him go to another game. Charles Posine jumping in. Finally got the YouTube up before I got to the recap. Charles Posine jumping in with a super chat. He says, and we're going to talk about this, Charles. He says, they are who we thought they were. Bobby needs to go immediately. Wow, Jesus Christ. Turner is a complete pussy. This team will not win another game without Giannis all season, and welcome back 2024 Coos. All right, Charles. Appreciate the super chat. Let's put I want to put a pin in that. I'll come back and address that. I will address what you say there. I'm gonna disagree a little bit on the they are who we thought they were. And maybe I won't, but I'll get to it. But we will. William Arrange with super chat. He says this team is genuinely embarrassing to watch. Get defensive rebounds. The fact that Diabate got 13 rebounds, 8 of them were offensive, disgusts me. And William, you're correct as well. The defensive rebounding was a problem. Even when you get defensive stops and you can't get the rebound, when is the defensive possession over, JT?
When somebody gets
the rebound.
Yeah, when somebody gets that ball, right.
The possession's not over until you get the rebound. And so, again, I think you could talk about some of the defensive lapses as well. But the times that we got stops, they're getting the rebound. So, again, it's a good point, William. I want to put a pin in Charles's comment. We'll get back to it. I'll talk about it once I get through the game recap here. And let's do it. On the Bucks side of things, Miles Turner, his best offensive night. And listen, I think I feel bad because he's a newcomer to the Bucks and he's new. We like to welcome our guest. But man, I think that he played like a big WNBA player is gonna stick. Once whoever said that, like once you hear it and you start looking at him like, yeah, he kind of do. It's a big WNBA player is what he plays like. And I feel bad, but that was funny. Whoever I didn't say it.
You know what? Hey man, we saw Miles have a little bit of life from the 3-point line tonight. There was some good that Miles did offensively tonight.
Absolutely.
We saw Miles look a little more like Miles Morales instead of your boy. Miles Tails Prower from Sonic, the little cat with 2 tails, right? We saw a little more Miles Morales from Miles Turner tonight, and I mean, a little bit more offensively. I give him that.
Well, that's a good reference there on the Sonic. But
y'all didn't know Tails from Sonic's name is Miles.
I didn't know that.
Hey, man.
That's a good one. But Miles Turner, 21, 3, and 21, 3, and 2 tonight. Again, listen, man, you're 7 feet tall, too. It's not gonna cut it. He did get 2 blocks, 7-14 from the field. Like you mentioned, JT, he hit the 3-ball. He did. He hit the 3-ball tonight. But it wasn't enough. And again, rebounding, the big issue. AJ Green, 3 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Still got to find his way. Ryan Rollins, though, and we'll talk about him again. He's looking every bit like a. I mean, he's a staple in this offense. He's a staple on this team. 25, 5, and 6 tonight from him. 10 of 15, 4 of 6 from 3. I mean, if anybody come to play with Ryan Rollins, you might have had something going, but I thought Rollins was really, really good tonight. Looked legit. Kyle Kuzma, talk about him, reverting back to a little bit. 8 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. He was 3 of 12 from the field. I'll talk about Kuzma a second. And he was okay. He wasn't good tonight because he missed the shots. But again, for me, it's not about whether you make or miss shots. It's about process. And again, he had 3 open layups at the basket that he missed. Do you have to hit those layups? Yes, you got to be able to finish. There's no question about it. But as far as I think my issue with Kuzma was process. And I can get with you as long as the process is good. And I thought the process of it was good. You just got to finish. I don't know if you got to put 2-hand dunk, whatever you got to do, but you're 6'9" and laying the ball up, and it wasn't going in tonight. So you have to finish those shots. But again, I thought those were makeable looks. I wasn't mad at the process. It was the result. Gary Trent Jr. 2 points, 4 assists, 1 of 5. He's having some issues, obviously struggling. Bobby Portis 14 and 8 boards tonight, 7 of 12 from the field. But again, even 8 rebounds for him. It didn't look good to me. I mean, they called him fake rebounds. But I needed some of those rebounds that we want from Bobby Portis. And I mean, he got absolutely dominated in his matchup, rebounding the basketball. And again, he finished with 8. It wasn't good enough. Jericho Sims, 2.7 boards, 17 minutes. Again, I thought he was a little bit better on the boards, but offensively, trash. Cole Anthony had the worst night of anybody tonight. I don't know. He was 2 of 12. I mean, he literally would not stop shooting. He would not.
Just trying anything.
He wouldn't.
Shoot.
I mean, yeah, you talk about
the bar.
You talk about a tour date. 2 of 12, February 12th. We're coming up on the Cole Anthony tour. Marcus Sears got in, did some damage. Pete Nance had 10 points. On the Charlotte side of things, again, they were just much better. Bridges with 26 and 6. Con Canupo, I thought he looked decent tonight. 16.6 boards. He was 5 of 13. Colin Sexton, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. This Kalkbrenner was a rebounding machine tonight. He had 17 and 9, almost had a double-double. Didn't miss from the field, putbacks, layups, all that. Again, I thought Miles Turner could have been a little bit better. Defensive rebounds, I thought Miles Turner was not on par tonight. Offensively, fine. Defense, I thought he was bad. And then Diabate, 7 points, 13 rebounds. I think it said 8 of them were offensive rebounds. You can't live like that. Man with 13 points. And how about Pat Connaughton, who for a stretch was the best player on the floor when he was out there with the group that Doc Rivers had out there for Charlotte. But again, tonight, no Giannis. Obviously, we have to talk about that. And I'll leave it this. Number 1, bad night all around. Bad night all around. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It wasn't good. Rebounding wasn't good. Defensively, wasn't enough effort. If your name wasn't Ryan Rollins, I don't really think you had a good night. Even though Turner finished with 21, and I'm not talking about the bench guys, but if regular rotation guys, if your name's not Ryan Rollins, you did not have a good night tonight. And so I was disappointed in the entire roster. And again, it just rebound. It comes down to effort, comes down to want to, comes down to all those different things you didn't do them. And then I'll go to let me address Charles's comment for a second, because he said they're who we thought they were. Bobby needs to go. Turner's complete. He saves trash, all that kind of stuff. This is where I'll go with this. And we talked about this before, Chris, if you recall in some of the earlier shows. And again, in the first game without Giannis, Rollins went for like 32 and crushed, and it was like, oh man, this team, okay, they're gonna be fine. But the broader question remains that I was asking of, what does this team do? What do they look like when Giannis isn't in the lineup? when Giannis is out. He's going to miss 13, 14, 15 games this year. Are you just going to lose almost? Are all the way they play tonight? You will lose every single game Giannis doesn't play if that's the effort that you give on a nightly basis. Like that's not winning basketball. Like there are games obviously where you come out and you play well and you just lose, or you play okay and you lose. Like tonight you will lose against all 29 other teams in the NBA. That's what will happen unless they come out with the exact same effort as you. I don't care about the skill level. I don't care what kind of names they have. Charlotte was missing LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. So in some ways, it really is not that much of an excuse because Charlotte was missing their top 2 players too. But what I'll say though, Charles, and I'll leave with this and I'll just go JT. What I'll say is this basketball team, because I think there's a broader point people are getting at, which is, well, they're not really that good. Despite their record and what they're not a good team. I think people are starting to get there when they look at this basketball team. I'm not there. And what I'll say is this team is constructed to be good around Giannis. This team is constructed to have Giannis be the focal point and the center point of everything that happens. And when you take that away from this basketball team, again, I know people are like, oh, well, look at OKC. They can win without people. And look at trying to think of another team. Boston, for example, look at Boston now. They're not doing too hot. But the Knicks, if you will, when guys are out of the lineup. There are other teams in the league where guys are out of the lineup. The Nuggets, when Joker's not in, they still can find ways to play well. The difference is this roster is constructed with Giannis as the center and focal piece, and it's built around him. And I think some teams are just built to have depth pieces and built to have really good team. That's why when Doc runs the all bench lineups, there are a lot of teams that play there are teams that go all bench lineups for periods of time. There are some teams that experiment and do that kind of stuff, and they don't look nearly as bad as the Bucks do when they do it. And it's because they have a group of guys who anybody on the floor they can kind of play with. This team is constructed all around Giannis. And again, you take him out of that, and the second part of that is the margins are super, super thin. And so because the margins are thin, you're looking for somebody else to help. And you're also missing KPJ, who is the second or third most important player in this basketball team. So I'm not giving that as an excuse. I'm not. I'm just saying this, if you're trying to, if the judgment on what you think about this basketball team is, well, what do they look like when Giannis isn't playing? There's no reason to judge them based on that because they're not going to win like that is what I'll say. And I don't think it's fair to judge them on how they look without Giannis because the roster was constructed with Giannis in mind and on the floor at all times. But again, tonight, inexcusable. It was poor from the top down. Like I said, everybody but Rollins deserves is fair game for criticism. That's what I saw tonight. But I'm not upset. It is. Oh, one more. Last thing I say. One more thing. I'd rather have Giannis. I'd rather have him. The game's going to sit. I'd rather have him sit against good teams because to me, they all count the same in the standings. You could easily have won. What's the Bucks record? 6-5 now.
I think 7-5.
7-5. You could have easily gone. So because that was 7-4. You could have easily beat the Hornets with Giannis because they're gonna beat them on Friday night when Giannis plays. They could easily play with Giannis and beat him tonight. Beat him on Friday night. You'd be sitting at 9-4. That's how I feel about that. I'd rather you sit against bad teams. Excuse me. I'd rather you sit against good teams. Versus, that's just me though. I'd rather take the wins because tonight's, that was a rough night.
Man, well, the same bad you saw, the same bad I saw on my TV. Now how many different ways can we say this? When you talk, one thing that I was looking for tonight though was who was going to be the guy that tries to put this team on their back, and we saw that once again. That was Ryan Rollins as well. I think he tried to put this team on his back to the best of his ability. You talked about Miles Turner. Wasn't great. Y'all are saying he's soft, right? He got to work inside with the AC. He not getting his hands dirty outside. I get it, but from an offensive output perspective, we got something there. Again, with Giannis out, you just had a lot of opportunity for guys to really step up. The person I'm most disappointed with is Gary Trent Jr. What is going on? Gary Trent Jr., he on a points diet? Is that what it is? He just on a points diet? That man has had over 6 points, I think, once in the last 5 games. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know. And the fact that Gary Trent, to me, just looks so comfortable not having an impact. Literally, we thought you were a sharpshooter. We saw the momentum from the playoffs last year, and he has just been woefully bad this year. Gary Trent Jr. stunk. AJ Green stunk. Those guys combined for 9 shots. Cole Anthony outshot both of them, despite the fact that I think Gary Trent played like 29 minutes. AJ Green played 26 or 27 minutes. Cole Anthony played a whopping 15, and he already eclipsed the shot total of both of them. What is this? I just don't understand what's going on with Gary Trent and Derry Bird, but really Gary Trent. Come on, man. I mean, if we had the bodies, I'd say, hey, his spot should be up for grabs. So unfortunately, we just don't have the bodies, I think, to do that. But I found that to be disappointing. You talk about the rebounding. Is the issue that we're just not competitive, that we just don't want to, that we get the lazy rebounds, but we don't get the gritty rebounds? Maybe so when Giannis isn't there, right? Giannis gets those, but maybe so. Maybe that's just
but they have problems rebounding when Giannis is there.
Well,
this is a common thing. Go ahead.
That's a fair point. But I think tonight guys had opportunity. Look, Giannis wasn't there. Hey, right? You're not your own teammate to get these boards, and they just still didn't do it. Just disappointed. But you know what? There's a lot of guys tonight, I'll say, that just, I don't know, were they out late last night without Uptown last night. I don't know, but I mean, between Kuzma, Green, and Gary Trent in that starting lineup, I mean, it's about as abysmal as it gets from an offensive perspective. And then, of course, you talk about Cole Anthony, he stunk it up. Just a bad night. We got to chalk this thing up. Guys have an opportunity to step up, and I hope next time Giannis is out, they do. But, we lost to a Hornets team that's going nowhere, and let's hope for the bounce back on Friday.
I think an interesting point to bring up as well with the rebounding is that, we spent all this time in the offseason. Look, they're getting younger. They're getting more athletic. Hey, there's something to be said about, are we still getting out-athleted? I mean, you had Musa Diabate rising over guys. It really only made a difference when you threw Jericho Sims in there, and he was able to at least tip the ball out to some of the Milwaukee Bucks guards and stuff. But look, we talked about that all the time this offseason, and AJ Green can't defend. Gary Trent really can't defend that well, so the only guy I really see that's defending at a high level around the perimeter at this point, because it's not Amir Coffey. It's rarely, I mean, Cole Anthony's been okay. It's Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins is the most premier two-way guy out there when Giannis isn't there. And so I think there's something to be said about, okay, we got younger. Did we get more athletic? Because I don't know if I can give you that answer. And then also, obviously, you have Bobby Portis still on defense getting cooked. So to me, yeah, that was unfortunate to maybe realize. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on that. But elsewhere, Trey, we talked about last show where it was like, can Kyle Kuzma sustain this? Can he be the guy that takes over when Giannis is out? And that's why I said no, because it's just too up and down. It's too up and down. And I'm not mad at the effort that Kyle Kuzma brings, and he's another one of those guys that may be a good two-way defender at this point for the Bucks. But I mean, just the offense is too up and down to be a consistent, reliable option when you have the best player on the Bucks out. And so I think we really do miss KPJ, and we're hanging our hats on that. So he better prove us right. And then outside of that, man, I just think, the shots got to start falling from those guys that you mentioned, JT. They have to start falling, AJ Green and Gary Trent Jr., because at some point you're running out of patience. You're running out of games to just keep this up. So, yeah, it was a bad night, and I'm not even sure that I probably wouldn't even chalk it up to just, bad night. I thought we got outplayed. I thought we got out hustled, out efforted, and even out athleted. So, is that Justin? Is Justin in here?
Yeah, Justin's here. Before we go to him, let's get to the another super chat. Appreciate everybody sending a super chat. NYC Randy says, seeding for this roster matters. Do they want to play the Knicks first round? Can't give up easy wins. We need to trade for a wing badly. Bobby is horrible. Pat C was cooking his ass. AJ and Trent have been god awful. I don't know, guys. Yeah, listen, man, listen. Everything in the chat's fair game today. For tonight's performance, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with anybody in the chat saying whatever they want to say tonight. Now I might give counterpoints to it, but tonight you guys are justified because again, I know there's and again tonight there's a lot of I think a lot of people are upset. I understand it, but there are the normal people who come in here and they're upset during wins. They're gonna be double upset during losses. And, the losses kind of reinforce some of the stereotypes. But again, so I give counterpoints to you, sure, but I'm not going to sit around and argue with you when you talk about how bad the performances were tonight. Because, yeah, if there's a night, like I said, you guys do it all the time, even when they play well or even during wins. But tonight you're justified. Like tonight's the night that you come in here and talk about how trash everybody was because it was true. And again, it was – from an effort standpoint, it was defense, rebounding, and even every phase of the game was again, unless your name was Ryan Rollins, every single phase of the game was bad. Justin, you were on site tonight in the building, in the arena, in Spectrum Center, uptown Charlotte. How did you view it? What were things from your vantage point?
I don't know what uptown means. I think that's dumb. It's downtown. I think Charlotte's a poverty-ass city. The Bucks lost to a poverty-ass team. And this is how poverty the Charlotte Hornets fans are. They're cheering for Thanasis to get in the game. You can't lose a basketball team to a bunch of Boys and Girls Club dudes like that. Who the hell is 23? And I heard some shit about Diabakubuka being a damn athlete. He ain't no athlete. He just goes and gets a rebound. Like, this shit pissed me off tonight. And then I'm not just going to blame Bobby. I'm not just going to blame AJ Green. I'm not going to blame Kuzma. I see you dumbasses in the chat talking about Kuzma this, Kuzma that. Where the hell your ass was at when Kuzma was balling? Oh, you've been missing though, right? Now you want to bring your little Fugazi-looking ass back up in here. Yo, it's terrible. I mean, it's just god-awful. You got a bunch of dudes out there that half them dudes for the Hornets don't even belong on an NBA court. You playing against the goddamn Greensboro Swarm, and it's like we rolled the balls out there and expected to lose. You saw LaMelo Ball out tonight. You saw Brandon Miller out tonight. So I guess Giannis was like, hey, F it. I ain't got a hoop tonight. We should be able to handle these dudes. And then Gary Trent Jr., what he had, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points? Atrocious. So before we get in here talking about some Bobby Portis shit, we need to talk about Gary Trent Jr. You in the goddamn starting lineup, and you ain't doing nothing. We talk about Amir Coffey being cardio, AJ Green cardio, Gary Trent Jr. cardio. Other than Ryan Rollins, the only other dude that I saw make a considerable effort to handle this basketball game was Jericho Sims. Until Mark Sears and Thanasis and them came in the game. But by that time, the sorry-ass Hornets were cheering for the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Justin didn't tell not one lie. You didn't tell not one lie. Get it off your chest, my brother.
Yeah. So tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
Listen. You're right. I don't have anything for that. I really don't. I don't have anything for that performance. And yeah, you are absolutely 100% right.
Let's say one more thing.
Go. You can say whatever you need. Go ahead.
I'm mad as hell. Hey, I saw Peter Fagan tonight. I saw John Horst. God damn it. I put that shit on. I want a goddamn refund for that bullshit I saw tonight.
Justin, you met John Horst. Was he cool?
Yeah, man. Chris, he need to hire Chris King.
He need to hire Chris King. Did you tell him that? You told him he need to hire somebody for his collegiate scouting?
No, I tell him I got my homie Chris King. He's the best college basketball guru I know in these streets.
That's real.
He own it. Hey, he'll get you the mid-major, the major. It's frustrating, man. You got dudes in the crowd and they taunting Bobby. They taunting Thanasis. And that's where I'm pissed off at Doc tonight. Don't put his ass in the basketball game. We're on a roll, and they're cheering for him to go in the game. You could have just left Amir Coffey in there to run around and stuff like that. Don't give these people what they want. It's a damn road game. And the schedule loss stuff is a bunch of BS too. You know how many people were so disappointed? Never mind. I'll just be quiet because
and to your point, Justin, I think we talked about this the last show when we were saying that, you want to win the games that are winnable now because you never know what's going to happen in the middle of the season. I know the injury bug has hit us a little bit now, but you never know what's going to happen once you get to be about 30 games in. And towards the end of the season, when it's only a handful of games separating the 3rd seed and the 6th seed, it becomes significant. You look back on, damn, remember when we lost to, what was it last year, the Nets or whatever it was, twice? And we go, man, we had games that were very easily winnable that we didn't. And right now it's hard to see the impact of a loss to Charlotte because most people are like, well, yeah, it's a loss to Charlotte, big deal. But once stuff start getting tight and you start getting into that playoff hunt, you start realizing, man, I really wish we had that. We had a game to help us close the gap between 1st and 3rd or 1st and 4th or whatever place we're in. So,
hey, Chris King, who the hell is 33 for the Hornets? And that big dumb dude from Creighton, like, hey man, I'm an old ass man. I'm unk status. I look at that big, tall, goofy looking mother sucker. You can't go in and just try to lay the ball up against a dude that's 7 foot 1,000. Like, I feel like this is fundamental basketball. Chris, tell me the truth. This dude was mid at best in the Big East, and now he's dominating the Milwaukee Bucks. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know about mid, but he played pretty well in the Big East.
Where was he picked? 2nd rounder?
I could, probably, maybe not even.
Who you're talking about? Diabate?
Goofy looking dude.
He could shoot the ball too. He just didn't show it tonight. He didn't shoot it, but because all of his buckets were, easy tip-ins, dunks, layups, all that. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they still have to play him more aggressively. Like, there's no way he should be out there torching our guys offensively on the glass, defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds. It just shouldn't happen, especially an experienced 7-footer like Miles Turner.
Let me see here. Who was it? Charles Polzin says Justin and Eddie on NBA TV were killing Giannis for low mansion on a 9 back-to-back. Let's stop. Let's go there for a second. What did you think about knowing Giannis? And again, I see people in chat saying that Giannis being out isn't an excuse and all that stuff. And again, I'm not saying it's an excuse. What I'm saying is exactly what I said at the beginning of the season, which was I think they're going to have trouble winning games when Giannis is not in the lineup because I believe the roster is built a certain way. It's really not built for. Somebody said, "Oh, well, depth and these teams have depth." And the Milwaukee Bucks roster is not built like that. It's just not. It's built to maximize everything around Giannis. So, do I think this team is? And again, we still haven't seen. We still haven't seen KPJ yet, for an extended time period. Because I'll tell you, if KPJ comes back, and again, we don't know. But if KPJ comes back and because again, Ryan Rollins took a leap. If KPJ has also taken a big step forward, a leap forward, you have something there with the roster. But again, my point is that the roster is built to maximize itself around Giannis. Now, they do have to figure out the rebounding thing. They 100% have to figure out the rebounding thing. AJ Green, I see a lot about AJ Green. His defense, again, maybe he was a little overrated the entire time, and maybe maybe he's regressed a little bit. He's still got to be able to defend without fouling. He's having a rough time. The thing about him shooting is, y'all remember last year? Remember Gary Trent Jr. last year? First 10, 15 games, rough. It was rough first 10, 15 games. AJ Green's a shooter. I don't really. I feel like his shooting is going to come around. I'm not really concerned or worried about I'm not worried about it. I don't know what happened. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about him as a shooter. I think he'll get that together. But the other things I do have to get together. But I do want to ask you guys, Giannis missing on a 9 back-to-back. What were your feelings around it? Should he have? Do you think in hindsight he should have played? Do you think the Bucks just thought, hey, this is an easy win, we're going to do this without him? And, what does this look like for him going forward, especially because this was not, from what Doc said pregame, it didn't seem like it was an injury-related issue to like a knee or like the first game he missed where he went out to warm-ups, he's not feeling well. This was, I believe they have 4 games in 6 days. Is that what it is? Something like that. And this was a scheduled load management maintenance day for Giannis. Do you agree with that? Did they make the wrong decision? Hindsight's 2020. But how do you feel about that piece?
Basically, what they're saying is we ain't worried about these MFs. And the problem with that mentality is that you weren't, but you should have been, right? Like you was like, okay, Charlotte doesn't have their best guys out here. We're not worried about it. We think the guys we can throw out there are a much better team than the guys they can throw out there. And that's actually true. We just didn't show that tonight. We looked awful. We went and played down and level, stunk it up. But one thing I will say though is I hate to do this, but the next time y'all think about, hey, we got an opponent maybe a little softer, a couple stretch of games here, we'll just go ahead and rest Giannis. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think you might have to tell, hey, we'll get you rest a little bit later on in the season, but you're gonna have to play because you can't keep dropping games like this against far inferior opponents. Again, I talked about it a few minutes ago. And I was like, you start stacking these up. You start stacking up the losses and in very winnable games, and it becomes an issue, especially if you have a significant injury later on in the season, 30 games in, and you got some guys got to miss 10, 15 games. Like this is not the way to go. So, I'm concerned, but I certainly hope that Doc will think about that the next time you decide to sit Giannis this early in the season, especially.
Yeah, well, to me, I just think it's hard to get these new players to the team, maybe guys that have new, improved roles, to get some consistency on a night-to-night basis if Giannis is going to take these scheduled games off, right? Like, you're not going to be able to have, a Ryan Rollins be completely comfortable as, okay, tonight I'm the lead guard and I got to go for 30 for us to have a chance. But okay, now Giannis is back. Let me make sure he gets the ball a lot too, but let me also have some scoring. And then you got everything in between. Miles Turner trying to get used to this new team, right? Bobby Portis coming off the bench but still getting minutes and now playing some of the 5. It's all of that stuff that kind of combines into why I think it's a little risky for this Bucks team to have no consistency with Giannis in and out of the lineup all the time, because they are a new team that needs to gel together and needs to learn how to win together. And that's why I think you're 7-6, honestly. Or 7 what did we 7-5? 7-5 right now, because you're sitting out versus teams, and look, that we look good one night, we look bad the next night, we look good for 2 nights, and then we look bad. It's just no consistency there.
So this kind of does. I don't want to go here with it, but I do. But I'm going to throw this out there. I kind of feel like we do have a patchwork squad here. Where we just have kind of thrown some things together, and we just trying to hope we can make this thing work. I mean, yes, we got the best player in the world in Giannis, but I mean, there are significant question marks, I think, around at damn near every position around him. Is it starting to feel like? I mean, I know some of the chats like, well, this team's just not that good. But is it starting to feel like this is a bit of a pipe dream with the guys we've assembled and expecting this team to get out of the first round and expecting this team to put together a string of 10 wins or some sort of, a 6-7 game win streak? Is it just, are we delusional here? Are we just hoping that what we've got is better? Like, basically, we're hoping that the meal is better than the ingredients that we put into this thing. Right? Like I don't know. I don't want to go there yet because we see the talent and potential this team has. But having said that, I mean, we have also seen we've had glimpses of what the floor looks like. Yeah. We've had some glimpses of what the floor looks like. We haven't quite seen the ceiling of this team and how good this team can be. But boy, this team stinks at times. Like, this team is bad at times. So just a thought that I'm throwing out there to you guys.
No, I disagree with you completely. That this is a pipe dream again. Now, if you're talking about championship, I don't know. Yeah, no, you talking about can this team compete with OKC? Yeah, I don't know.
It's best. Can I say it's best? I don't see that.
I don't know if it's I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it is a championship roster. I don't know about that, but you talk about first round. Yeah, absolutely. I think
can we get out the first round? Can we get out the? Is there a dream of getting out the second round?
There's nobody in. Let me tell you this. There's nobody in the East that's like. If we're in the West, yes, I'm sitting here like, oh, there's nobody in the East that's like some world beaters. Didn't you just beat the Knicks with no? Was that the game Giannis missed?
No, that was the Warriors.
No, Giannis played that one.
Okay, well, you played against the Knicks and you beat the Knicks, so you can't sit here and tell me, oh, it's a pipe dream. Then if I was a Knicks fan, you should be. I mean, you should have jumped off a bridge if you lose to the Bucks. If it's a pipe dream. The Warriors already are. That was the Warriors game that we played without Giannis, and we won that game, right? So again, but in the Eastern Conference, no, I'm just looking around the East, and I don't see like. Again, it could be a. You could think that maybe the team isn't as talented as someone, but again, you thought you had something with Damian Lillard and Giannis. No, again, I think the team is built and centered around Giannis better than it ever has been. That doesn't mean there aren't holes, but I think you have to figure out a couple things. You got to figure out how to defend big wings, and I think you got to figure out how to rebound. Outside, I mean, I think this team is a top 10 offense. It was a top 10 offense with Damian Lillard. So you have the offense, and again, I think the defense is okay. It's just you got to get the rebound. So I disagree. And again, if you're telling me that. Name the teams in the East that are so much better than the pipe dream Bucks.
So I vehemently disagree. I vehemently disagree as well. You got a bunch of lottery pick dudes on this team. Cole Anthony, lottery pick. Miles Turner, lottery pick. But not only that, if these guys just play to the back of their basketball card tonight, you should win this basketball game. These dudes showed up and they gave a piss poor effort tonight. They didn't hoop, they didn't defend, they didn't rebound, and the shots they shot up were a bunch of horse shit. And to answer the question about Giannis resting, I think Friday would have been a better day to rest him. But however, you can't rest him Friday due to the fact that it's an NBA Cup game.
Right.
But role players play better at the crib, and you got a bunch of role players going out there tonight. But look, for me, man.
I would have rested him Saturday against the Lakers. That's the rest game. Rest him against the good teams. Forget trying. Now, what's going to happen is he's probably going to play the back-to-back and try to beat the Lakers on a back-to-back, and you're going to end up losing when you could have just won 2 games there. You could have beat the Hornets twice, and then you go out and then you take a scheduled L instead of trying to do it this way. And now you have. I'm not saying they're going to lose the Lakers, but you could have had 2 wins against the Hornets and then 1 loss against the Lakers. With no Giannis. Instead, you're going to lose 1 against the Hornets. You're going to beat the Hornets on Friday night, and then you're going to lose to the Lakers. And to prove what? That you wanted to play everybody? I don't understand that logic. I'm resting against the better teams, not the weaker teams.
So here's my question to you, Trey, because I hear where you're coming from, and I agree. I think this team has talent and potential. Having said that, we're clunky right now. Right? It just doesn't. You walk just like the talent Justin just referenced. Think about it. Miles Turner. Y'all talking about him smiling with his tongue between his teeth, right? You look at Gary Trent Jr. Where is he at? Gary Trent Jr. Right? Well, y'all saying he's soft. I'm like, yeah, he's smiling with he's got his tongue between his teeth.
I heard that one.
Hey, that's a step below closing the fridge with your hips, right? That's a step below holding your nose before you jump in the pool, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying that too. But then you have, so you have disappointment. This Miles Turner thing, I think most people pretty much, hey, what the hell is going on here? Disappointment. We're talking about, well, he's got to find his fit. He got to do this. Sir, I'm gonna need you to figure this thing out a little bit quickly. I understand it's come together on defense, a little bit more than it has on offense, but man, come on now. At game 12, at game 25, I don't want to be saying the same thing I was saying in game 12. AJ Green and Gary Trent, I got questions. I got legitimate questions about both of them dudes. I don't know at this point. Gary Trent, I know you talked about last year, first 10 games were shaky. Boy, Gary, I need you to get them dusting cobwebs, whatever it is you got to do. You got to find them back, right? Cole Anthony was competing for the spot with Ryan Rollins. We thought Cole Anthony was going, hey, we got a legitimate battle here. And that looks like Ryan Rollins has pulled ahead significantly in front of Cole. There are a lot of questions. I mean, we're putting a lot of hope in KPJ coming back off an injury, and we don't really know how he's going to look, how that impacts him. He's going to have to, yes, he gets cleared, but it's going to take him a little bit of while to get into a groove. I mean, I'm assuming he can run. I haven't seen the updates. I'm assuming he maybe can do some sort of cardio, get in basketball, stay in basketball shape. I really don't know. But I guess what I'm saying is that with everything that this team's got, yes, we've seen Kyle Kuzma step up. Yes, we've seen Ryan Rollins' revelation. Yes, Giannis is MVP level already. He's that dude. But with the deficiencies we're seeing in this team and the knock over the up and down play from Bobby is another one you throw in there too. Looking at this team right now, we've got some significant flaws. We've got some substantial issues. And yes, we should be able to get the damn first round. But I mean, as far as this team making a deep run with this roster constructed as of now, I feel like we got to make some trades. We got to make some moves here. I'm not sure these guys can get past the second round. I'm just not.
Can I ask you a question? So when you look at that Indiana Pacers team last year that went to the finals,
that's a good point.
I feel like Miles Turner's a wash, right? The 4, Giannis versus Siakam, I think we're 100 million times better, right?
Sure.
3 position, we got AJ Green. Who is their 3? Nimhart or Heisman?
Neesmith.
Who do you think is better?
You know what though?
Between who? Between Neesmith and
I'm gonna ask you
Neesmith.
I'm gonna ask you.
Neesmith? Okay, fair.
I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you.
Wait, hold on, JT. The 2 guard. Who's better on the 2 guard? Gary Trent Jr. or Nimhart?
This year,
right now, Nimhart.
Right now, it's Nimhart.
Right now, Nimhart.
In the playoffs last year, no, it was Gary Trent Jr.
And then point guard,
right.
You got Halliburton versus Ryan Rollins.
Ryan Rollins right now.
I'd get Ryan Rollins, but here's the
Hallie in the last 10 seconds. Ryan Rollins.
And then the bench. So whose bench is better?
I think they should have Bucks bench is probably better. I think overall the Bucks bench is probably better this year though.
Wow, TJ McCollum's pretty good.
Is Cole Anthony better?
If we play up for a potential
right now, hell no.
Okay.
Now
Obi Toppin's better than Bobby Portis.
Yeah. But here's the problem though, Justin.
Yeah.
But here's the issue. The issue is, yes, you are right, but where you're wrong is that Indiana Pacers team. And I hate to say it, that team had grit. That team had fight. Them boys was showing up. They literally were. They was out there. Yes, there was a talent mismatch. I completely understand that. But they played as a team. They showed up. They were competing. They was out there competing. That team.
And for whatever reason, they were allowed to mug people the entire games, and the Bucks aren't allowed to do that. Yes, it's much easier when you're allowed to grab the defense. AJ Green gets the way AJ Green is called defensively. Neesmith and Nimhart can do that times 10, and they don't call anything. So yeah, if you get those kind of rules, it's not bad. One second. Let me go super chat real quick. Let me go super chat first, Justin. NYC Randy super chat says the Bucks, since Doc has been hired, they just don't rack up wins. No need to be delusional for some reason. Since Doc has been hired, we win 2, lose 1. But the Bucks started off 2-8 last year. I just want to keep that in perspective too. We talk about this ragtag. They were 2-8 starting last year. So the start, we can be as down as they want to be.
About disastrous as it could.
Say what?
And they started out 2-8 last year, and the season was about as disastrous as it could have been.
Well, right. And so to me, yeah, this roster, this roster is much better suited towards Giannis than last year's roster. But yeah, listen, I don't know. Doc Rivers has done it outside of some lineups. I think Doc Rivers has done a good job so far this year. I think he's got it again. It's just there's another issue now we're seeing with the rebounding. But again, some of that I have a hard problem putting that on Doc Rivers. Like sometimes they're in position. Miles you got to jump. You know what I noticed too, and it's the issue with Miles. You know who now? Brook Lopez didn't get no rebounds like that either. But Brook Lopez used to always win jump balls on the tip. Miles Turner doesn't win. I don't think he's won one all year. And it's like, again, it's a little. It probably means it maybe means nothing, maybe so, but it's just something I've noticed from the first 10, 11 games. He can't win a jump ball. It's like to win a jump ball, there's that attitude of, yeah, I'm not closing the fridge with my hip. Like, you got to have, hey, I'm going to get this day. And when they throw this up, I might have to jump early. I might have to lean into you. I might have to put – Miles does not have that piece. It's not in him. So, again, and it may be some, maybe nothing, but I'm just saying from a rebounding perspective, I don't know what more Doc, you don't think Doc's – box out. That's not like Doc can't make you go get a rebound. Doc can't – you don't think Doc's telling him to put a body on somebody? And also, they're just small. So, again, I don't know if that's on Doc. Second super chat, real quick, just my bad. Charles Posine, super chat comes and says, Giannis could carry the team to the East Conference Finals. But with the memo the refs have gotten on his ass, with the memo the refs have gotten on his ass this year and the whistle he is getting, nope. And again, that's the other piece, JT. When you talk about, are we delusional? Are we this? Are we that? Maybe so. But I got this. I got what's in my back pocket that nobody in the East has. And again, I'm not talking about the West. I'm talking about the East. I have in my back pocket the best player in the entire Eastern Conference.
That's true.
That's the card I can play of, are we delusional or not? No. And here's why. Because every time he steps onto the floor, I got this belief, this feeling that that 34 is going to go out there and kill everything. So you always – so, again, I get it. But I don't want people to doubt, and maybe that's what's happening in the chat. I think we're forgetting who Giannis is, and we're talking about all the guys around him, and that's fine. But I'm talking about Giannis, right? But then that's me. Sorry, Justin.
Nah, true story. And shout out to Charles because he's absolutely right as far as that whistle goes. Because hell, we didn't have a Giannis on the floor. We didn't get the whistle tonight, which just goes to say, but. JT, the one thing I'll caution you on with those Indiana Pacers, remember at one point that team was 7 or 8 games below 500, and they ran. They ran.
What
And that's what I thought too. But go ahead. I was like, what the hell? Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Wait, what? What just happened here? I don't understand.
JT, you be on demon time in the chat.
Your text is that, bro. I'm like, bro, what is he talking about? Go ahead. I want to. Hey, Jim. Who? Hey, Jim. This is objectively hilarious. These comments, but go ahead. I'm sorry, Justin. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this Indiana team, they didn't have it together last year, and they found a way to get hot. So what I'm hoping is these guys can come together and get hot. I see the homie keep talking about negative threads in the chat about Miles. I don't think we're being negative about Miles. What we want to do is we want to see Miles play to the back of his basketball card. I thought he may
to be fair, like you talk about, there's an adjustment period too, and to be fair, there is an adjustment period, and he very well may, right? Miles might be fine when he settles in. He may figure this thing out. And again, to be fair tonight, offensively. There's an improvement. What are y'all looking, bro?
He's looking at you, dog. Like you a demon. Hey, what did my? I gotta take a deep breath.
Y'all tripping.
What did Miles have tonight?
He had like 20. He had like
21.
Again, his shooting tonight was there.
2 for 7 from a 3-point line.
Okay. So he showed up offensively, but what I was getting pissed off for, and the Hornets fans looking at me like, you a Bucks fan? Yeah, Miles, you're faster than that dude from Creighton. What's his name, Chris King? I keep calling him that dude from Creighton. What's the boy name, Chris?
Kalkbrenner.
Him too. Miles, you should be able to beat this dude off the first step every time. He is slew-footed as slew-foot can be. Shout out to Trey Crosby and the Trey folk. Go to the basket. Dunk on this dude. Like, send a message. You're the best basketball player on the floor, and you didn't show it tonight. That's why I'm so upset.
Yeah, no. Listen, this is a frustrating night, and again, I do want to keep things in the perspective though that it's and like Dan's Miles. We're getting to the point where, to me, the chat and I think it's getting way too negative on Miles Turner. I thought again his defense has been good for the most part. I thought tonight he wasn't good, particularly defense. He had a couple blocks. But I thought tonight a couple guys got past him that I didn't appreciate that. But again, the front court of Giannis and Miles has been good. We've got to grab rebounds. And again, whether that, and I guess people saying, oh, you can't have Kuzma starting lineup. I don't know. Because again, I thought tonight, and again, even on Kyle Kuzma, I thought tonight that I thought he started off, and I was like, man, he could be a little more aggressive because I thought he started off passing the ball. He wasn't looking for a shot. And again, you get down 10, 11, 12, and I thought he started to press a little bit. But again, even the layups, he missed them. But the back ones was a rough sequence he had there. But I thought the process was fine. He's a bigger body. Giannis and Kyle Kuzma together in lineups have been really good. They have plus numbers together. So again, maybe it can work. You guys talk about trades. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there with what it's going to look like yet, and we'll see.
What do you mean by trades though? Because the thing is that if a perfect example, somebody wants Gary Trent and it's an upgrade, you're not open to that.
But you say but that's not reality, right? That's not reality. Is hey, we'll upgrade you for somebody who's not playing well. We'll give you a guy putting up 15 a night for a guy. We'll give you got a 6'3", 6'4", shooting guard who's struggling to shoot the ball. We'll give you a 6'8" wing. We'll give you what's my man Trey Murphy. We'll get that's not how this thing works. In theory, it makes sense, but also the money has to make. You can't trade Gary Trent, who's on a minimum, for a good player who's making $20 million. That's not how these things work.
So speaking of trades, I saw a silly one on it was like Legion Hoops or somebody on Twitter was talking about Anthony getting.
Nobody wants Anthony Davis.
Why would we want him in Milwaukee? I think we're good.
There's no question nobody wants Anthony Davis.
I think we're good. Why would we want a guy who's not going to play? That don't make no sense. He can do that in Dallas.
Well, I think the other thing you have to look at with this start and these frustrating performances is you watch the games and you ask yourself, okay, we have some rebounding issues. Is that the end of the world? Is that the end of the season? Can we adjust? Can we fix those things? Now, that's not up to us as fans to fix, but in the grand scheme of things, as an NBA head coach in Doc Rivers, as NBA basketball players making millions of dollars, can they fix those issues? And if they do that, then I'm not going to be so doom and gloom on this team if they lose games. As long as they fix the fixable issues, then I think we could be in a good spot maybe.
I want to do a shout out to the young guy I met today, Aiden, and his pops Kenny, and I hope you're listening because welcome to the Cream City crossover where we lose basketball games, we get out of pocket. So Aiden, please disregard all the curse words and stuff I said earlier, but I'm just upset. What I do want to, because I saw a lot of negative talk, and Chris, you talked about the rebounding. I thought Doc did a good job by putting Sims and Miles Turner on the floor to kind of shore that up. Unfortunately, man, pause. You got to put your ass on somebody and get them out the lane. That's a want. It's just like, Trey, when you played football, you got to get around that guy to get to the tackle. And if you don't want to do it, this is what you're going to see. What's the boy name, Trey? I'm sorry. Chris King, what I keep saying, I say it wrong. What's that boy name?
Yeah, Kalkbrenner.
For the Hornets.
Mm-hmm. Kalkbrenner.
No, the African boy.
Diabate.
Yeah. Musa.
Yeah, him too. Yeah, so that dude wants to get it. He out there hooping for a rebound like that's his last meal and that's his only chance to stay in the NBA, and he's going to get every rebound. We ain't got no dudes like that. Hey, look, and y'all know I'm a big Bob supporter. I love Big Bob. I love everybody that wears Milwaukee on the front of their chest. However, Bob, you got to go get those rebounds the same way that brother did. Because he looks like he wants to be there. He wants to get a check. Hey, and I know, Bobby, you came from the mud and you came from nothing. But right now, all of our Bucks look like we're already there. We ain't got to hustle for nothing. And we ain't been out the first round since, Chris King was in high school.
Chris, to answer your question, I mean, you were asking about can the rebounding get better? Again, I don't think they have to be a top 10 rebounding team, but you can't be 30th. Can't be dead last in rebounding.
Free throw shooting got to get better. Some of that stuff too. Well,
free throw shooting, we can't get to the free throw line. That's a whole other story. But yeah, man. So again, I think everybody's frustrated tonight, and everybody has a reason to be frustrated. And again, it just wasn't a good night for Milwaukee Bucks basketball. But you come back out, you got Friday night. And I think that, again, Giannis getting this lineup, and again, you'll see a totally different basketball team. And again, I would, if I had a prediction, I feel the Bucks will win on Friday by 15. I think it's gonna be an absolute massacre. What the Bucks do to the Charlotte Hornets on Friday night in Milwaukee. That's what I get.
Trading Bobby for Pat Beck is crazy. Trading for Anthony Davis is crazy. Like, we're talking about Giannis missing a game with no rest. And, I mean, bro, how many games Anthony Davis has missed? And, hey, love Pat Connaughton for what he did, but, I mean, come on, dog. Let's be serious now.
Well, and like I said, you guys continue to it's again, this is the NBA. It's a night-to-night league. We beat the Warriors shorthanded, no Giannis. The Spurs are 8-2. I'm sure the Warriors look as slow and as aloof and as slow foot. They're about to beat the Spurs right now. No reason the Spurs, with the talent they have, should be losing to the Golden State Warriors. So again, that's just how this thing's going. If your name is not the Oklahoma City Thunder, and again, I'll give you another one. I think it looks like the Oklahoma City Thunder. You probably think, oh, they're gonna repeat the way they're playing. This is how Boston looked last year out of the gate. Boston won a championship, and then last year, like they were going to first 25 games, like they were going to boat race everybody, and then it slowed down. So again, OKC, and again, don't forget, OKC went to 2 Game 7s last year in the finals against Indiana. As much as I want to give Indiana credit, they could have beaten them in that Game 7, and then they went. What was that? The second round to Denver. Denver took them to Game 7 too. So I think everybody has this like feeling that like, oh, the great teams, they just waltz through and they never look. That's not how this thing works. Those teams are going to have to work. They're going to have to work really hard for it as well. I want to give you anything else we want to get to. Again, I know a lot of nights, we're out here really late. But I don't, think, again, it's a rough loss. I don't think we got to belabor the points. Everybody was bad tonight. Anything else that we think we want to get to before we start to land the plane a little bit, get to Twitter, get the game balls?
Sometimes somebody moving out the lane. What? Hey, it's true. What? It's true. I think we're going to go. Back it up and dump it down basketball. That's what we
I don't get what just happened.
But you ask somebody to move out the lane. Back it up and dump it down.
Hey, you talking about the joke I did? The shorty was like, you talking about the ambassador to mulatto race? Is that what you talking about?
What?
I have no clue what y'all on right now.
How do you know?
No, because Justin said that earlier. Somebody in the chat tripping right now?
Y'all are tripping.
Read that ambassador.
Read what?
I'm gonna reset. All right, let's reset because
I don't know. I saw the comment in the comments.
That's a great.
Yeah.
Great screen. Which one of you guys is most likely to pay cash money for Bush next?
What is that? What are we talking about?
Did you see that? That's what the comments.
No, I missed the comment. I
said hi. Which one or if you guys is most likely to pay cash money for Bush? What?
I just saw. Okay.
What? That's what I'm on. That's what I was like.
All right, now I want to right pay. Hi, which one of you guys is most likely to pay cash money for Bush next? Hey,
I'm assuming it's typo. I'm assuming they come out.
Okay, hey, yo, what's going on,
I don't even know what that
ambassador mulatto. What the hell? All right, we're gonna skip. Hey, yo, all right.
Which one of? Yeah, he said it incorrectly. One of you got to go past.
Hey,
man, listen. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. Mulatto's tripping. That is strike one, ambassador. And we only got 2 strikes on this show. Next one, you're gonna be out of here, big dog. I don't know. I'm gonna give you a pass, but that's a hey yo. That's a hey yo. All right. What's up?
I'm that one's over my head.
Can we say something about the forum?
Go ahead.
Can we say? Nah, man. Never mind. I probably shouldn't say that. Hey, man, Bucks pissed me off. Let's move on because I'm gonna get in trouble.
All right, let's move on. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling with the show. Oh, man, all right. I'm gonna try. Let me go some else while I find. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go to Twitter. At Sung345 says nobody on our team can grab a damn rebound. It seems like. At the Wisconsin kid says Kuzma showed why he can't start, but Trenton Green starting is becoming a problem. We are stuck. Cole Anthony was disgusting tonight, and Coffee is dog shit. We have to make a few moves before we can be a threat. At NYC Randy says, I watched Pat C give Bobby ass buckets. This team's not serious. I don't care. This just make it to the playoffs ass attitude. Like they have the roster where seeding doesn't matter. I guess we want to play the Knicks in the first round to get bounced again. Nothing good to say. At Wisconsin HFC says, lazy AF performance. Rollins is the only player with pass marks. It should also be obvious now that GTJ and AJ Green can't be on the floor at the same time. It's not working. Not sure what the solution is, though, especially with no TP and no KPJ. At Irene99 says Rollins is the only one that was serious tonight. Everybody else, ass. And let's do one more at BSD Gazelle. Says this is a bad loss. Can't believe dumb Doc convinced Giannis not to play. We need to stack wins and blew a golden opportunity for a dub. Yeah, so that's where we're at here. Yeah, like I said,
Hey,
go ahead.
Quick, Joe McGraw, you the MVP. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, but real quick, like that Pat C gave Bobby buckets. They wash each other out. That's a scratch. I mean,
cooking for
two basketball players. Two basketball, but I did want to shout out young Aiden, and I hope he's listening because and I think he may have been onto something. I asked him before the game, did you want to see Kuz start? And he was like, no, I want to see Bobby start. And maybe Bobby could have gotten a better rhythm, and Kuz would have been in his normal self coming off the bench. But you don't got too many options when Giannis is out, KPJ is out, and Taurean Prince is out. So could have been something that we could have did.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we could. Yeah, he could have. So get later here too. Yeah, but again, I think you just gotta find solutions for rebound. Maybe Jericho Sims has to come in earlier. Maybe the game plan should have been to kind of muck this up a little bit more instead of, but yeah, eventually you have to figure this out. But again, to your point though, Justin, I said this before you got on. This should have been a night where Bobby Portis was a rebounding machine. All them rebounds, the fake rebounds, and what? This was the night you got Diabate skying over you for rebounds. He's skying over everybody. You got whatever my man's name is, Cluckbar. How you say his name, Chris King? Cuckbar, what?
Kalkbrenner.
Him too.
Him too. Caulk man. You gotta. He out there rebounding over everybody like you say, you got to put a body on somebody. But again, this is a night where Bobby Portis could have showed his worth and said, hey, I'm going to get every single rebound that's out there. He didn't do it. All right, let's get to it. Game balls tonight. And a Bucks lost 111-100 to the Charlotte Hornets. Where are you guys going for your game balls? Whoever wants to start can start with the game ball. Game ball. All right, I'm going to volunteer somebody. Okay, there we go. Way to volunteer.
But you trying to go Socratic method?
Yeah, I'm about to start volunteering.
I feel like let me can y'all still hear me? I'm gonna tell you this. If you stay anywhere downtown, uptown, whatever they call this BS down here in this poverty city with poverty teams, WNBA city that couldn't even
hotel name. Hotel number.
Don't stay at the Moxie. This internet is trash. The hotel is trash. Like
where you at, Justin? What's it called?
The Moxie. Like they got pink lights on in the room.
Hey,
I don't know if y'all can hear me anymore.
It looked nice on the
pink lights. You got the
pink
LEDs.
Lights?
All right,
was that pink lights? They got pink lights in the room?
Shout out to the leader of the Mulattoes or whatever their name was.
Yeah.
Bro, is that are you in a motel? You're not in a motel, are you?
I'm in the Moxie right across from the arena, my good brother.
That's not a motel there. Okay, I just want to make sure hey, brother.
I really feel like I should take my game ball and give it to Ryan Rollins, though. I really feel like I should take that joint back to the crib with me on the Amtrak in the morning. But I'm gonna get that joint to Charles Lee, man. He coached a bunch of bums up and had them ready to play, our bums, and he did his thing and he beat us and he gave us a belt to ass. So shout out to Charles Lee, aka probably should have been our head coach, aka young vibes in Charlotte. If we could just keep somebody healthy, aka young Knipple on the nipple getting buckets. Shout out to the mulattoes.
Oh, I'm looking at myself. That shouldn't be bad. That's a Marriott Bonvoy. Okay, I didn't know that's what it was.
So Moxie's you gotta be careful with some of these hotels, but the Marriott Bonvoy, it should be straight then.
It should be straight. But hey, I think it's a new hotel. Matter of fact, right around the arena. So it's right beside the arena, so it should be decent.
No, I gotta tell you, man, I was staying. What was that? It was one of the Hiltons. And the breakfast was so, man, them eggs, I don't know where the hell they got them eggs. This thing was straight out the box. This is crazy. Like, it was the worst eggs in my life. What the hell is this? Eggs was ass. It was like literally if you was eating paper towels. I was like, this is terrible. But Marriott Bonvoys, all right, just make sure you get your points.
Got them points. Get the points. Game ball, who's next?
I mean, listen, like I think we're forcing it by giving each other game balls.
Gotta get some game ball. Listen, the game happens. Somebody gotta get a game ball.
Yeah, no, you don't. No, you don't. There's not always gonna be a player of the game. Sometimes there's not gonna be a player of the game. Justin gave it to Charles Lee.
Okay.
Hey, Melanie walked off the floor and didn't interview anybody. That says a lot, right?
Oh wow, really?
There's no interviews.
Oh, here's what I'll do. I'll give my game, but I'm gonna give my game ball to Justin because Justin is staying uptown, right? And just watch. He met John Horst. He told him he needs to draft better, which is immaculate. Love that. Tell him the truth. And then second, I mean, you went in that building and watched an ass whooping, decked out in Bucks gear. You get the game ball, sir, aka. Man, on the road.
Let me put my cardigan back on these. Give me some money, Peter Fagan.
Give me some refund, aka give me my refund.
You guys, listen, man. But you guys know me. I don't listen. I ain't gonna act like the game ain't happen. It did happen. Hey, you know me. You got to win to get in. I'm gonna give a game ball. I know I don't usually do this. I don't usually do it with the Bucks. I'm gonna do it with the Hornets tonight. I'm gonna get a game ball. I'm gonna give it between two guys. I'm gonna give it to because they dominated us on the glass. So the Twin Towers. I don't know the heights of Kalkbrenner. He's 7. Kalkbrenner 7'1", and Diabate is 6'10". We'll call him a 7. We'll call him 2 7-footers. Close enough. 17-9 from Kalkbrenner. He was 8 of 8 from the field. Did not miss, plus 17. And Moussa Diabate, 7.13 rebounds. He was 1 of 3 from the field. But they killed us on the glass. They assisted in a 50 rebound night. They out-rebounded the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, 50-34. That was domination. That led directly to the Bucks losing. So I'm gonna give it to Kalkbrenner and Diabate, a.k.a. the Twin Towers, a.k.a. we rebound, you don't, a.k.a. to grab a rebound, you got to go get the rebound, a.k.a. we put an ass on somebody else, a.k.a. shout out to the Bushes. All right.
You know what? Well, I guess I'll give my man, we just unraveling at this point. We getting off the rails. We've been off the rails. I'm going to give my game ball tonight to Justin, too. I'm going to give it to Justin, too, for showing that loyalty, showing up to the team, meeting John Horst, always being there as a loyal Bucks fan and loyal defender. And, for those of y'all in the chat, we are fans of this team. We want to see this team play well. We just call it how we see it. We don't sugarcoat nothing. We don't care about nobody's feelings. Right? That's just kind of what it is. The truth will set you free. But first, it'll piss you off. At the end of the day, Justin, you get my game ball, sir. I'm going to go Justin, a.k.a. in the hotel room in uptown Charlotte with the cardigan so you know we outside. a.k.a. Justin said he's an ump. I'm going to call him an ump. AKA he's somewhere high in the light skin mafia. AKA Justin, aren't you a Kappa? Aren't you a Kappa?
I am.
I know it. Hey,
Kappa.
listen, he ain't even got to tell me. You just know. There it is. But no, Justin, you get my game ball tonight, man, for being a low supporter, showing up and showing out. I'm sorry this team, for you traveled all across the state to watch the team play basketball, and unfortunately, it didn't go the way the way we expected.
No bug spray tonight.
You said what?
No bug spray, but me and the Guru gonna be in this joint December 29th. We're gonna be sitting next to Melanie Ricks, Lisa Byington, Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson had can we talk about that for a second? Marcus Johnson, what's the boy name for the Knicks? Frazier.
Clyde Frazier? Walt Frazier?
Marcus Johnson had
Clyde Frazier.
The ugliest suit, shirt, tie combination I ever seen. Yeah, he had the Walt Frazier joint on. Like, Marcus, you got to do better, man. You a podcast killer, man. That junk was horrible, man. Looked like Stevie Wonder dressed you tonight, my brother. Sorry. Come on the Cream City crossover, though. Look nice. Ask your teammate Sydney.
I don't know if he on 10-foot hoops. You notice he always dunks in the same. He dunks outside his house. I'd like to see him dunk on a regulation. That does not look 10 feet to me. And I don't know. Maybe he can, but I got a feeling he does the same spot because I think he know he can get there. I don't know if he can. I don't know.
Hey, y'all see quick draw McGraw's comment? Yep. See, I told y'all. Listen, you know what solved the problem? No defense. Another made 3-point. There you go. Oh, can't move your feet. Make another 3.
Daniel Jones says,
make another 3. Listen, you just do that and have problem solved.
The crazy part about the crazy thing about tonight is we really lost by 30, and it shows 11 points in the score.
Yeah, because Pete Nance and Marcus Sears came in and started and said, "Hey, we ain't gonna make this look bad in the box score. You if you ain't watched the game, you gonna wake up tomorrow thinking we were competitive." So I'm not mad at that. Daniel Joseph gives the game ball to everybody, saying the best show in town. So I'll take that. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's go around and look at what we have in the league with the look around. Bucks lose 111-100 to the Hornets. You have the Suns up 114-110 with 2 minutes to go over the Dallas Mavericks. How about the Thunder crushing the Lakers right now, 70-38 at halftime. Hawks up 11 on the Kings. Clippers and Nuggets are just getting started. It's 14-13. Pistons are 10-2. They beat the Bulls. Bulls start off really hot, and they've lost 4 in a row now. They're 6-5. The Knicks lose to the Magic 124-107. And in this loss to the Magic, and that's why you get this whole thing of like, oh, it's over and we aren't good enough. Apparently, Jalen Brunson left the game in crutches. So again, I didn't see the play. I don't know what happened, but you're always an injury away. You've seen it with the Bucks. You're an injury away from not being a contender anyway. So you play and you see kind of how this thing goes. Let's see. Okay, Marcus John. Okay, but okay. Celtics beat the Grizzlies 131-95. Cavs beat the Heat 131-16. Rockets beat the Wizards tonight. Let's check in on our favorite people in Washington. Chris Middleton, 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 3 of 6. And let's see, A.J. Johnson did not play. Trailblazers 125-117 over the Pelicans, and the Warriors do end up beating the Spurs 125-120. Interesting results around the league. Only other thing I wanted to get at was getting the big news out of the NBA is your boy Nico Harrison fired out in Dallas. You remember we were talking about it during the show while Dallas was trying to get the free throws to win the game against the Bucks. They're chanting "Fire Nico." I don't know if you heard, but the Mavericks up until the last game they were wheeling in a separate set of stairs for Nico Harrison when he was sitting the games so that he could exit without having to go through the crowd or something like that. So again, it was all bad. What I hate is that people are, for whatever reason, they're starting to. There's a contingent of people who are saying that Nico Harrison's a scapegoat, and I don't get that. I mean, Nico Harrison, he orchestrated it, he initiated it. I think the other thing that's funny is they keep. I'm so sick of Shams. He was saying like, "Whoa, well, there was full alignment from Jason Kidd and from ownership." What? Nico Harrison's the GM. Let me tell you, JT, when you go to work, right? When your boss says we're gonna do XYZ, whatever that initiative is. Again, there may be a little bit. Hey, what about maybe some people who question it? But ultimately, the boss says, noted, but we're going to do XYZ. What is everybody going to do?
XYZ.
They're going to do it. And what is that word? I thought it was great. Shams used it, said Jason Kidd. There was full alignment. Yes, that's what happens. Everybody aligns. Whether you think it's the dumbest idea in the world or not. If your boss says the sky is green, if you want to continue working there, you want to be duly employed, the sky is now green. And you may very well know it to be blue, but the sky is green. That's how these things go. So, yes, they did align. And last thing I say on it is, I didn't have a problem. Honestly, I didn't have a problem with the Mavericks trading Luka Doncic. I really didn't. I could see why and how you would do it. If he's out of shape, he's not coming in camp, not taking things serious. I get it. And again, I think this is a wake up. I think the way he looks now, I don't think he would look like that in Dallas. I think this was a wake up for him to, hey, this ain't nothing's promised to you. You gotta earn it every day. But I actually didn't have a problem with him trading Luka Doncic. The issue Nico had was two issues. One, he traded him to the Lakers, who, again, everybody hates the Lakers. They win all the time. They always get the star. They get everything. You can't trade him to the Lakers, number one. And number two, the return. That was the killer, was the return. Like, if AD was playing this year, and again, you end up getting Cooper Flag, and, you might have a chance of surviving. But AD, I believe they said since AD was traded, there have been 44 games. Anthony Davis has played 14 of them. Mm. You can't live like that. And so, yes, you're going to get fired. I mean, the fans are calling for you to be fired in the middle of a game. It's becoming a distraction. Your home games will sound like away games. It's rough. And so, that was one where the fans revolted. It was a bad decision. You really had to get a king's ransom for him. And then I think you send him to LA. What if you send him to Charlotte, if you will? You send him somewhere like that. I don't think it's nearly as bad. You send him to the Kings. You send him to the Lakers. Yeah, it's just and for Anthony Davis, who's always hurt. Yeah, it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's that, and just you didn't let him market. You just the way this whole thing was done. Like you said, after this team had that success in the year, it just makes absolutely no sense. It was a disaster. It was a very foolish move, and I'm just amazed that the real story has not come out. Nobody's actually gone on record and confirmed that. But Nico had to know he was signing. I mean, your marching papers was coming after you do this. If everybody was truly not on board, and again, I thought Cooper Flag was going to bail him out, and unfortunately, he's not going to be there for that to happen. But look, whatever it was, like you always say, Trey, whatever it was, it got Luka in shape.
Yeah.
Luka's a thing now.
Yeah, I thought back to Monday, and I mean, it was utterly insane that the fans were doing that in a winnable, or at least a game that they could have sent it to OT, chanting "Fire Nico" during those free throws, and that may have been, one of the reasons as to why they're like, all right, this is getting out of control. Let's make the move now. I think you kind of pay the price when the return you get is not only kind of mid, but AD can't stay on the floor. So the writing was on the wall after AD got that injury, and Kyrie as well. Like that also I think plays a part in it. Like when Kyrie goes down, and you're relying on AD, and you're going to draft a power forward, like It's just it was going to be ugly after that.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Luka's out there in LA and he just keeps balling though. And I mean, he had an impressive performance in the city of Charlotte. What was it? A couple nights ago. So, hey, Nico, like, I understand what you tried to do. And I do feel like Nico's kind of a scapegoat, though. I feel like when you read a lot of that stuff about the owner and stuff like that, they wanted to kind of get rid of him. But then I can get down with that. But what about the litany of the other moves, though? Right? Because when you look at how many trades and how many different maneuvers he's made with this lineup, I don't know. But he put a good enough team on the floor to win if you have a healthy KD and an AD. But if you're betting your career on a healthy AD, I think we know how that's going to turn out, and that's why you're in the situation you're in.
I don't know how Nico cares as a scapegoat, and you're the GM. I don't get that.
Because the owner said that if I can't, allegedly, let's say allegedly, if I can't get this casino built here and I can't get this, I'm going to move the team to Vegas. And then the NBA said no, allegedly. And then she was like, well, move him and we'll teach him all a lesson. Now, I think everybody in the situation, including Nico, walks away with pie on their face. But I'd much rather walk away with pie on my face with a 7-figure salary than, normal Joe Schmo.
But yeah, that part of the story you gave, I haven't heard that. Everything I heard is Nico really liked Anthony Davis, and that's why he did it. But if that's true, that's one thing. But yeah, everything I've heard is that Nico basically started this whole thing and just didn't believe in Luka Doncic. Anything else for look around?
Yeah, let me give you some look around from the state of Wisconsin basketball. We got the Fighting Bart Lundys losing to Chris King's Indiana Hoosiers 101-70. So, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Fighting Bart Lundys put up more of a fight than our Golden Eagles did?
23 as opposed to 31, but I mean, shoot. Both L's, both 100-point games.
And then Marquette beat Little Rock 89-49. So I guess they got a little bit of their get back in their system.
A little belt to butt for the Golden Eagles tonight. Belt to ass.
Chris, give us some Dayton updates too, bro.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I know Dayton took a little L.
Yep.
What's Cincinnati?
Yeah, lost at Cincinnati. I mean, they shot 2 of 28 from 3, so that'll do it. Yeah, they forced 24 turnovers, but you miss 26 threes, you're not gonna win. You keep shooting them. I don't know why. But anyway, we'll see the Golden Eagles next week. Hopefully we go 2-0 that route.
Yikes. I'd be remiss if we didn't mention the passing of Lenny Wilkins. Legendary coach, legendary ball player. Just great dude. Phenomenal impact on the state of Wisconsin. And then it's not state of Wisconsin, Lord have mercy, state of basketball. And then lastly, I know it's not Bucks or basketball related, but we got to give a little shout out to Pat Murphy, back-to-back manager of the year. I think that deserves a little bit of accolades from our Cream City crossover crew.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well deserved over there for Pat. Didn't work out in the playoffs, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Thank God it's a regular season awards.
Well deserved. I just sent y'all some. Yo, I see what he's talking about now.
Adventure is wild, yo.
About Marcus Johnson.
Yeah. Right. Anything else you want to go to?
I don't think that's factual with Marcus Johnson, seeing the way he walked around tonight, but I'll digress.
He ain't got no teeth either. But anyway.
You said what?
Nothing. My bad. I didn't.
Yeah.
I never. What is it?
My bad. I didn't say anything. My bad. I forgot we on. I be forgetting we on. Let me stop, bro. My bad. It's only it ain't no people in here. It's a good thing this show ain't big. All right. My bad. Where's like, hey, that's messed up, Justin. By the way, the only other thing, the announce crew of from Charlotte, Eric Collins and Dale Curry, top tier stuff. And I think it's so good because the Hornets aren't that good, and they have to they just come with so many facts. It's really fresh. It's a really good crew that they have, and like I said, I think your girl and Mr. Gums just it ain't there. It's definitely taking a step. It's definitely taking a step back. Nothing, Jake. I didn't say anything. All right.
Wow! Oh, wow! Wow!
Any other? I apologize. Any other look around items that we need to get to? My bad, man. I do apologize. My bad. It ain't me, man. It's when it get past 11.
Nightlife killing.
Stuff just be happening, dog. Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. All right, let's get out of here. Again, Bucks lose tonight 111-100 to the Charlotte Hornets. Back at it Friday night against the Hornets again. Giannis should be in action. So I think it's gonna be a different result. Hopefully, it's a little more cheerful in the chat on Friday night after the Bucks beat down the Hornets. I'm guaranteed a Milwaukee Bucks win on Friday night. Appreciate everybody for joining Cream City Crossover tonight. It's been a pleasure. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with us, so we appreciate it. If you didn't smash that like button on the way in, hit that like button. If you think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win on Friday night with Giannis in the lineup against the Charlotte Hornets in Milwaukee, hit that like button on your way out. We appreciate it. Of course, again, if you could, please tell a friend, tell a friend about the Cream City Crossover. It is the best Milwaukee Bucks post game in all of the land. Yeah, man. Again, Bucks lose it, but listen, spirits are high. Let's get this thing back on the right track. We will be okay. This has been the Cream City Media Group production for Guru Truther.
JT.
Chris King.
Justin.
Don't take no wooden nickels. Oh, I messed that one up. If I am your enemy, it's only because I dare to tell you the truth. Don't take no wooden nickels.